Hare Krishna. So one thing here is mentioned in this is from Brahma comes Rudra. Can anybody tell how?
Rudra is
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Yes, Chaitanya Prabhu will tell. Please,
Yes,
Prabhuji,
Prabhu.
go
I think, Brahma had initially created, I think one of his first creations was the Chatur Kumars, Sanak, Sanatan, Sanakadi. And after creating them, he had instructed them to help propagate more species and living entities in this world by procreating. And they had refused, saying that they are brahmacharis and they just want to engage in devotional service and go back to Godhead. So since they were his first creation and they had refused, he became very angry at them. And when he became angry at them, then it said that and something from his forehead, an eye opened, and from that anger, Rudra was born. Shivji was born. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Thank you. 3 times Hari Bol for Chaitanya Prabhu. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, we'll go to the next paragraph. Other things we discussed yesterday, so we will continue reading because many of these things we already discussed. So who will read next paragraph? Volunteers?
I can read. Prabhuji.
Yes, Suresh Prabhu, read.
In different millennia, there are different incarnations and they are innumerable, although some of them are very prominent, such as Matsya Kurma, Vara, Ram, Narasimha, Vamana, and many others. These incarnations are called Leela incarnation. Then there are qualitative incarnations such as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva or Rudra, who take charge of the different modes of material nature. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So this is also what we discussed yesterday. Leela Avatar and Guna Avatar, qualitative incarnation. Okay, we'll go to the next paragraph. Who wants to read next?
Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, ma'am.
Lord Vishnu is non different from the personality of Godhead. Lord Shiva is in the marginal position between the personality of Godhead and the living entities or jivas. Brahma is always a jiva tattva. The highest pious living being or the greatest devotee of the Lord is empowered with the potency of the Lord for creation and he is called Brahma. His power is like the power of the sun reflected in valuable stones and jewels. When there is no such living being to take charge of the post of Brahma, the Lord himself becomes a Brahma and takes charge of the post. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So Mataji, you can read next also. It is also about Lord Shiva also, then somebody else.
Lord Shiva is not an ordinary living being. He is the plenary portion of the Lord. But because Lord Shiva is in direct touch with material nature, he is not exactly in the same transcendental position as Lord Vishnu. The difference is like that between milk and curd. Curd is nothing but milk, and yet it cannot be used in place of milk. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Who would like to read next? So all those who have not read can take advantage and quickly read one.
Hare Krishna, I can read.
Hare Krishna, Nimanti. Yes, please.
The next incarnation are the Manos. Within 1 day's duration of life of Brahma, which is calculated by our solar year as 4300,000 into 1000 years, there are 14 Manos. Therefore, there are 420 Manos in 1 month of Brahma and 5040 Manos in 1 year of Brahma. Brahma lives for 100 years of his age, and therefore there are 5040 into 100 or 504,000 Manos in the duration of Brahma's life. There are innumerable universes with one Brahma in each of them, and all of them are created and annihilated during the breathing time of the Purusha. Therefore, one can simply imagine how many millions of Manus there are during one breath of the Purusha.
Hare
The
Krishna.
Manus were Hare Krishna.
Mataji, this paragraph is stuck to you. Every time you want to read, this paragraph only comes. You must be very good in calculation, so they want you to calculate all.
I think she got the same paragraph yesterday to read.
Yes. Auntie, you
They
want to
want
read
me to
one?
revise.
Yeah, they want you to revise. You want to read one more paragraph?
I'll read.
Yes.
The Manus who are prominent within this universe are as follows. Yagna as Swayambhuva Manu, Vibhu as Swaroshisha Manu, Satyasena as Uttam Manu, Hari as Tamas Manu, Vaikunt as Revata Manu, Ajita as Chakshu Manu, Vamana as Vaivaswat Manu. The present age is under the Vaivaswat Manu. Sarvabhauma as Savarni Manu, Rishabh as Daksha Savarni Manu, Vishwaksena as Brahma Savarni Manu, Dharma Setu as Dharma Savarni Manu, Sudama as Ruddha Swarni Manu, Yogeshwara as Deva Savarni Manu, and Brahadbhanu as Indra Savarni Manu. These are names of one set of 14 Manus covering 43,000 solar years as described above. Am I right?
Hare Krishna, yes, ma'am. Okay. So,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Who wants to read next? Next paragraph. Any volunteers? Okay, I'll read. Then there are the Yuga Avtaras or the incarnations of the millennia. The Yugas are known as Satyug, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga. The incarnation of each Yuga are of different colors. The colors are white, red, black, and yellow. In Dwapar Yuga, Lord Krishna, the black color appeared, and in Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya in yellow color appeared. So all the incarnations of the Lord are mentioned in revealed scriptures. There is no scope for an imposter to become an incarnation, for an incarnation must be mentioned in the Shastras. An incarnation does not declare himself to be an incarnation of the Lord, but great sages agree by the symptoms mentioned in the revealed scriptures. The features of the incarnation and the particular type of mission which he has to execute are mentioned in the revealed scriptures. So this is how we can differentiate a real true avatar versus a person claiming to be God himself, because there is no lack in the society, in this world, of people who are claiming to be gods. So this is how we have to identify. They have to be mentioned in scriptures, shastras, and the purpose is listed, the symptoms are listed, everything is mentioned. Okay, who wants to tell next? Last paragraph for this
Hare
shloka.
Krishna. Can I read, Prabhuji?
Ketki Mataji, yes, please.
Yes, thank you. Apart from the direct incarnations, there are innumerable empowered incarnations. They are also mentioned in the revealed scriptures. Such incarnations are directly as well as indirectly empowered. When they are directly empowered, they are called incarnations, but when they are indirectly empowered, they are called vibhutis. Directly empowered incarnations are the Kumaras, Narad, Prutu, Sesha, Ananta, etc. As far as vibhutis are concerned, they are very explicitly described in the Bhagavad Gita in the Vibhuti Yoga chapter. And for all these different types of incarnations, the fountainhead is the Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So, where did we read about Shirodakshaya Vishnu is the source? You remember I told to remember that line? all incarnations within the universe are emanations from this Shiro Dakshaya Vishnu. And there it's written now, all these different incarnations, the fountainhead is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So I think this we'll have to clarify in subsequent as we read what basically is the understanding. Little clarification is needed here. Okay, am I right? Anybody here who can explain this? Anybody understood what I'm saying?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Anybody has an answer? So fountainhead is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, all these incarnation, and there it says all incarnations in the universe are emanations from this Garbhodakshaya. Maybe okay. I won't speculate right now. We'll discuss later. Anyone wants to volunteer for the next shloka? Anyone wants to share anything from the previous shloka?
I didn't understand about that Rudra thing that Chaitanya Prabhu said.
Rudra thing?
Yeah, like,
That Lord Brahma became angry, from his anger came out Lord Shiva.
okay.
That is what he said. So from the anger, that's why Lord Shiva, he gets angry, right? He is taking care of the mode of ignorance. All right. So who will read this Sanskrit 1.3.6?
Prabhuji, can I read? Sa eva pratmam deva
Sa eva pratamam deva
Amaram sargam ashrita
Kaumaram sargamachita
Chachar dushcharam brahma
Chachara dushcharam brahma
Brahmacharyam akhanditam.
Brahmacharyam akhanditam.
Translation. First of all, in the beginning of creation, there were the four unmarried sons of Brahma, the Kumaras, who, being situated in a vow of celibacy, underwent severe austerities for realization of the absolute truth. You want me to continue, Prabhuji?
Yeah, sure, Mataji.
Purport. The creation of the material world is effected, maintained, and then again annihilated at certain intervals. So there are different names of the creations in terms of the particular types of Brahma, the father of the living beings in the creation. Let me read this again. So there are different names of the creations in terms of the particular types of Brahma, the father of the living beings in the creation. The Kumaras, as above mentioned, appeared in the Kaumara creation of the material world, and to teach us the process of Brahman realization. They underwent a severe type of disciplinary action as bachelors. These Kumaras are empowered incarnations, and before executing the severe type of disciplinary actions, all of them became qualified Brahmanas. This example suggests that one must first acquire the qualifications of a Brahman not simply by birth but also by quality, and then one can undergo the process of Brahman realization. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, can you share your input?
Prabhuji, I didn't understand much, but basically they're saying that that in the beginning of the creation there were four sons of Brahma called the Kumaras, and they were in a vow, they had taken a vow of celibacy, and so they were undergoing severe austerities for the process of for achieving the process of Brahman realization. So they were acquiring the qualifications of a Brahmana. And in the purport, Prabhupada is explaining that the particular creation,
Video test, okay?
so each creation has different, each universe has a different Brahma.
No.
And
That is
so different names of the creation. What does this
it
mean?
means some creation.
So it
Yes,
depends.
Madhuri, this will
What is it?
clarify. This will be clarified future.
Okay, so I'll let you explain that. But basically, Prabhupada is saying that Kumaras were undergoing a lot of austerities to qualify as a Brahman. And so so a Brahman is somebody who has the Brahman realization, and you cannot undergo that process of Brahman realization without having these qualifications. So one has to go through a lot of disciplinary process and qualifications and austerities. And so this is not just by birth. You have to achieve that status of a Brahmana.
All right, very nice. So we'll go forward. Anybody else wants to share anything? Otherwise, we'll keep moving. Okay, anyone wants to read the Sanskrit? Okay, Dvitiyam tu bhavayasya
द्वितीयां तु यस्य
gatam mahim
Satalgatam mahim
uddharisyan upadatta
uddharishyannupadatta
यज्ञेश
Rajesh Saukura Babu.
यज्ञेश सुपुरं भवपु
to read the translation. Okay, I'll read. The supreme enjoyer of all sacrifices accepted the incarnation of a boar, the second incarnation. And for the welfare of earth, he lifted the earth from the nether regions of the universe. The indication is that for each and every incarnation of the personality of Godhead, the particular function executed is also mentioned. There cannot be any incarnation without a particular function, and such functions are always extraordinary. They are impossible for any living being to perform. The incarnation of a boar was to take the earth out of Pluto's region of filthy matter. Picking up something from a filthy place is done by a boar. And the all-powerful personality of Godhead displayed this wonder to the Asura, who had hidden the earth in such a filthy place. There is nothing impossible for the personality of Godhead, and although he played the part of a boar by the devotees, he is worshipped, staying always in transcendence. Haribo. All right, we'll go forward.
Yes.
Tritiyam Rishi Sargam Vai Deva Rishi Tvam Upetya Sa
Deva Rishi Upetyasa
Tantram Tattvatam Achashta
Tantram Sattvam
Naishkarmyam Karmanamyata.
Naiskarmam
Let's read the translation.
I can read, Prabhuji. In the millennium of the Rishis, the personality of Godhead accepted the third empowered incarnation in the form of Devrishi Narad, who is a great sage among the demigods. He collected expositions of the Vedas which deal with devotional service and which inspire non-fruitive action. Purport. The great Rishi Narada, who is empowered incarnation of the personality of Godhead, propagates devotional service all over the universe. All great devotees of the Lord all over the universe and in different planets and species of life are his disciples. Srila Vyasdev, the compiler of the Srimad Bhagavatam, is also one of his disciples. Narad is the author of Narad Pancharatra, which is the exposition of the Vedas, particularly for the devotional service of the Lord. This Narad Pancharatra trains the karmis or the fruitive workers to achieve liberation from the bondage of fruitive work. The conditioned souls are mostly attracted by fruitive work because they want to enjoy life by the sweat of their own brows. The whole universe is full of fruitive workers in all species of life. The fruitive works include all kind of economic development plans, but the law of nature provides that every action has its resultant reaction, and the performer of the work is bound up by such reactions, good or bad. The reaction of good work is comparative material prosperity, whereas the reaction of bad work is comparative material distress. But material conditions, either in so-called happiness or in so-called distress, are all meant ultimately for distress only. Foolish materialists who have no information of how to obtain eternal happiness in the unconditional state. Sri Narad informs these foolish fruitive workers how to realize the reality of happiness. He gives direction to the diseased men of the world how one's present engagement can lead one to the path of spiritual emancipation. The physician directs the patient to take treated milk in the form of curd for his sufferings from indigestion due to his taking another milk preparation. So, the cause of the disease and the remedy of the disease may be the same, but it must be treated by an expert physician like Narada. The Bhagavad Gita also gives the same solution of serving the Lord by the fruits of one's labor. That will lead one to the path of Nishkarmya or liberation. Hare Krishna.
Want to explain, Prabhuji?
I'll try, Prabhuji. So, what I understand from this, Prabhuji, is here it is said that Devrishi Narad is an empowered incarnation of Lord. So just like you were saying, Shakti Vaishya avatars, so he's one of the empowered incarnation, and he is a great sage among demigods, and he is the one who collects from the Vedas all the information about the devotional service of the Lord and how to perform non-fruitive action, which means that the Nishkarmya that is explained. So we read in Bhagavad Gita also that how there is 3 types of works we can do. There is karma, there is vikarma, vikarma, or there is akarma, and akarma is also called as Nishkarma here. So so here it is explained how Narad Muni is, gives the devotional service, and he has disciples all over the universe. And even Lord Vyasdev was, he got inspiration by Narad Muni about writing the Bhagavatam. And we know so many other devotees who Narad Muni, just like Prahlad Maharaj, got inspiration from Narad Muni. And his all his, it is explained that how in Narad Pancharatra, the karmis means people who are doing work for fruitive results. So how karmis, they can get liberation by doing getting to the path of akarma. And then the same thing is explained that we have discussed multiple times, how karma, by either be it good karma or bad karma, is still binding us. And it can be the example that you give, like for if it is good karma, it is just binding up with the golden chain, versus the bad karma is just in a bad state. So we are still in the jail, maybe in a good cell or a bad cell. So it is not really a smart person doesn't do that they try to get out of the jail, they try to get out of this material world and the bondage, and not just try to make themselves happy in this world. So that is also explained, and it's explained like how so-called happiness and so-called distress is really just distress in the long run. So we try to get happiness in this world, but as we say, this is dukhalim shashvatam. This world is temporary and it is full of misery, really. And the other shloka, Prabhuji, that at every step there is just distress in this world. So, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Very beautiful. Okay. So anybody else has any questions, comments, any points, anything to share?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. If I have your permission, I'd like to share something that I heard from one lecture from Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj about
Please.
fruitive workers.
Absolutely.
Yes, Prabhu. So Maharaj was describing in one lecture that the condition and the ultimate result of the fruitive workers can be understood very easily by a certain format. So actually in Hindi or in Sanskrit, I think there's the alphabets, like we say A, B, C, D in English. In Hindi, we say Ka, Kha, Ga, Ga, Ma. So each of that line is called a varga. So there's a Ka varga, and there's Yara, Lavasha, there's a Ya varga. And then there's one varga which starts from P, Pa, Fa, Ba, Bha, Ma. Maharaj describes in his lecture that particular varga is actually called Upavarga, because that now Shastras describes that is the condition of fruitive workers, can be summarized in Pa, Fa, Ba, Bha, Ma. So how Maharaj describes is for fruitive workers, Pa is parishram, that they have to work like donkeys and asses, because in order to fulfill their sense gratification, they keep doing a lot of parishram and keep working like 12 hours, 14 hours, 20, sometimes 16 hours a day. You see people who are working in banking industry and all. They're just fully engrossed in that for sense gratification, and they have to work so hard like a donkey. And then after they do that, then after the per comes fur. Fur is, Maharaj describes as fain. Fain means foam. Like when you work so hard, it's like a donkey. When a donkey works so hard, starts foaming in the mouth, having all that saliva and everything coming from the mouth. And you see these people, when they work like 14, 16 hours for sense gratification, they come and then they're just exhausted and tired, and they don't have any time to do anything for spiritual activity. After that, for comes Ba. Ba Maharaj describes as Bandhan. So being engrossed in so much fruitive activities, they are bound to so many results that they've created because of all the fruitive activities they've done, so many karmas, that they're getting themselves more and more bound to this material world. So Pa, Fa, Ba, and then Bha is Bhai. So when they've achieved so much through that process of sense gratification, then they're always in bhai, because they always feel, oh, what if something goes wrong? What if I lose this? What if I lose all this wealth and money? And that's why the whole insurance industry comes, because it's all based on fear. So they're always in fear one way or the other. And then ultimately, Pa, Fa, Ba, Bha, and Ma. Ma is Mrityu. So that comes, I think you pointed out over here. And that's why for one of the other words for liberation is also apavarga. Apavarga means the opposite of pavarga, which is for devotees. Pa. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. You have memorized it very nicely. I always keep forgetting what is this, and you told it in a flow. Beautiful. Or I have to check it here in this shloka.
Actually, I heard that in the lecture too, but it just went above my head. I didn't.
Yeah, Chaitanya Prabhu meditated and very nicely remembers everything. Very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Very, very appropriate to remember this actually. That is one way we can remind ourselves that we are doing too much, we are too much in contact with Pavarga.
Right.
Right. Okay, thank you. Anybody else would like to share anything? We'll get together tomorrow morning for our Japa conference call. Thank you very much. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanaam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavibhyo namo namaha.
Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare